I usually do this like this, Mike. Oh, okay. And no worries.
Clear prop.
Okay, I went out on Saturday and did some more flying, getting in some more work on, this time is going to be flaps, ground recognition, stuff like that. So we came down here and went off 27, came back around, did our flight out to the east into the practice area. We worked with the flaps, felt how those worked on all the way down to 40 degrees, which was quite an experience because the plane just kind of had a lot of drag at 40 degrees. And then when part of the ground recognition part, we got to chase the river, and that was really fun. Came down here and actually followed the river. Went past Cherry Hill, and I believe we got all the way almost to Odin and then came back. It was a lot of fun. Interesting, too, because my instruments were covered, and I couldn't see any of my instruments. Really got me to pay attention to what's going on outside the cabin. Then we got back right about in here, and the battery went out. So you don't get to see my landing, which is probably just as well because I was really flappy coming back around this way and down into 27. I was trying to pull the center line with my ailerons instead of the rudder, trying to steer it like a car, which doesn't work, and got a little flappy down there. So it's a good thing the battery run out. You couldn't see that part. But anyway, that's what we did. We got to run the river here, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, okay. All right. Clear prop.
Well, I spent 55 years driving just about every vehicle, motorcycles, trucks, cars, etc. And I do okay with that. Trying to drive an airplane down the taxiway with your feet is still something I have to learn. So I won't bore you or make you motion sick going back and forth across this taxi line on the taxiway as we head down to runway 27. And my battery ran out about halfway down the taxiway anyway, so I'll spare you all of that and we'll get on with the video. But as you can see, it's a little more difficult to drive with your feet than with your hands, and I just still need to work on that. Anyway, here we go.
All right. Mena traffic, 47 kilos, taking off 27, local flight, Mena. All right. Well, you can kick it around to the left as we're taxiing out. We'll check our approach end. everything else, the pattern looks good. Checking our approach in. No traffic observed. We made our call. All right, hand on the throttle. We're going to verify runway. We're just coming out here. We're going to be on 27. We're going to glance down at our DG and make sure that it corresponds. All right.
You want me to come to full stop before we go, or just?
No, we can just roll. There's 27 verified.
Okay.
And then as when you're lined up there, we'll match that.
All right.
All right, I'm ready when you are. All right, feet are to the floor. Feet to the floor. All right, full throttle. A little bit of right rudder. Can't get lazy on that right foot. You got to keep that right foot in it.
Foxtrot, traffic number 1, advancing 10%, 2 minutes.
Yeah, there's
5. 2 minutes, Foxtrot.
Was a lot of speed. Where does our trim set at? It's trim nose. Where was it set at trim?
I missed that step, didn't I?
Yeah.
They were at 80 knots already.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to be pitching for. Just barely looking on a cold day like today and a lot of headwind. It takes a lot of pitch to get that to 70. So that's what we're looking for is 70. There's 500 feet though, and we're just at the other end of the runway. So now we can turn a left turn.
Too much, isn't it?
Yep. Good catch right there. Level the wings, checking for traffic. Check right, clear left, coming on left. And I said we would be about 800. We'd have been turning about 700. You're just a little bit behind it, but it's no big deal. But I'm just saying, routine flow. By the time we get to 1,000 feet, we're looking at 2 runways. All right, roll the wings off, level on east. Right, here we go, and we're at pattern, so you can pull power back to 2,000 RPM. And then you should be able to release some of that pressure. But we're looking at a couple of runways, lots of options. Okay, a lot of options here.
All right.
After we get settled in here, I'm going to have you put 10 degrees of flaps in. And you feel that stabling effect.
Yeah.
A lot of times I give scenic rides, I do aerial photography. I will typically, I'm down there at 65 knots with 10 degrees of flaps in. And be able to really slow the airplane down and stabilize it. So. Airplane wants to fly today.
It does. Keep reducing power and we just seem to stay around 80.
We're still got speed and wanting to climb.
That sure puts it back in your mind just what temperature, how much temperature is a factor. I mean, in cold days, the other day when we were out, it was hard to get it. It just kept on to climb.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. All right, so there you got your speed. Let's not give our altitude or our speed away. Let's hold what we got. And before we get up there, just go ahead and give us a 2 or 3 count. Try to get 10 degrees of flaps in.
Okay. 1001, 1002. That make 10?
Yep, just right there touching it. It looks good. Now we'll just keep doing the same drill. We can do about 65 knots here. Just hold what you got there. And we can do a turn to west when you're ready. Nobody out fishing on Irons Fork. whenever you're ready, we're going to go to 20 degrees of flaps, and you're going to really feel
1001, 1002. Yeah, I really feel the pitch up there.
Yeah, it's not quite there. I'm going to give you another little bump. There's
right.
20. There's 20 degrees of flaps. And that's okay if it's at 60. We see the white arc. We're still well above our stall there. But you're going to have to add just a little bit of power. It's wanting to climb right there, so you're going to have to push that on back over, keep that visual. Have to take some of that trim out. Climbing. All right, let's get on our sight picture right here. I want you to nail this right here. Get it trim, correct it if it gets off, correct it. We got a lot of wind over here. It's coming down through that valley. So we've climbed, get on to south. Right. All right, there's a river out your left wing. Over there, behind you. I want you to get down, pull the power down to about 1500 RPM, get us down below 2,000 feet. Ground reference maneuvers per book, like a 600 to 1,000, AGL. That is what you're going to be doing maneuvers at when we go do turns around a point or any of these ground reference stuff. So if we pick 700-800 feet to start with, we're just going to try to stay there. Even if you're at 600, you stay at 600 feet. And we're supposed to not do maneuvers below 500 feet, correct? Right. If we pick 600 feet, there we got the plus or minus 100. We got a safety net there. And then we got lots of fields out here.
Okay.
So we can do a left turn on in there and pick up following. Actually, I think that's one of the creeks that feeds into the river, but you can follow that creek over there out to the river, and then we'll follow the river. But our goal is to get on down here.
Can traffic sky 5736 Tango, 7.5 nautical miles to south.
1600 on our altimeter.
Bound runway 20.
I'm so spoilt here that it makes math easy.
Yeah, starting at 1,000.
Yeah.
Like 1,084, isn't it, or 1,079?
1,060 is at the airport. That's our touchdown zone for the ILS. Really, I don't know if that's the lake or a part of the river there, but. All right, here we are going to start leveling here. Start leveling at plus 100. Go ahead, put some power back into. Said you're still going to be about 1900 RPM, and I got a creek right here. Okay. It goes back around that way. So, all right, my controls real quick.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to get that on your side. I'm going to trim you. All right, you got it?
I got it.
All right, your controls, your airplane. Let's add you a little bit of throttle in there so that you pretty much don't have to think about it, the throttle. And trim, I want you to be on fingertips right now. Be about right. And follow that river. I usually do this like this, Mike.
Oh, okay.
worries. Just brings back the whole flying by the seat of your pants business right there.
Yeah, because I really, I don't know if I'd say got dinged, but he emphasized a lot on coordination of the turns. So I'm really watching that ball a lot now.
Well, I know. And we said we got to get you out of your head. There's no better way to get out of your head than I think we see. Let's
Okay,
take
now is that the river over there? Because it branches off this way.
Well, just whichever one you follow.
All right.
I'm with you.
I'll follow this one then.
I think this is going into the big river. There's the river, goes back towards town, but then it comes this way. See where it feeds into it right there?
Oh, okay.
We can crank it on around there, follow this one. This is the river, goes on out towards Odin. We follow it that way, goes through almost to town and then out to Akron.
I want to get that on my left side. On the tree line, it looks like it curls back around to the right.
Yep, it does. It makes a big dog leg right here. The only thing out here we got to watch out for is the new cell phone tower, and we're well clear of that.
I see what you mean about blocking the instruments. It gets you more attuned to the pitch of the nose and the...
Yep, and all this I've been preaching to you about your sight picture.
Right.
We rely on that. That's you're a VFR pilot. You need to own those skills of what your sight picture is going to look like, and it's going to be a faster indicator, more accurate indicator than chasing needles and instruments.
Because now I'm starting to feel more of the pitch.
Yeah, I said I got to get you out of your head, man. And I feel you catching yourself and thinking, well, I'm in a left turn. I need a little left rudder, and you know you're thinking about it, but let's not rear up and climb. Let's go ahead and stay down low, and so we can keep an eye on that river.
To use a big word, it's rather disconcerting when you've covered up the instruments. That was like, oh, crap.
You don't stare at anything when you're riding your bike, do you?
No.
My old instructor, Marty Caldwell, from 22 years ago, brought me out here in his tail dragger, and he did the same thing to me, and he's like, I got to get you out of your head. You got to be able to open up your eyes and see what's out there. I never understood it took me hours and hours and hours of flying to understand what in the world he was talking about. And he brought me out here, and I swear we were even with the treetops. And his little tail dragger, we were flying part of that river. I thought we were like going to touch the water. And he's like, you got to get down there. Just look out there and fly the airplane. And finally, I told you I was not comfortable in an airplane for a couple hundred hours, and that's sad, very sad. So let's work on some of the pilotage skills, and that's what we're doing. We're looking outside, following a river. That's the basic maneuver, ground reference maneuver you can possibly do. You get at low level, you get into some soup, whatever, get down below it, fly to safety. But I was so much of the time terrified to be below 1,000 feet.
Now, is that a landing strip right there?
It is. That's out at Cherry Hill.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's River Bend Air Park. The Boers. And the river bends right there.
No, I agree with you. It's like I was fighting my own learning and trying to, it wasn't how I envisioned it. Of course I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but thought it was going to be a lot more fun.
Well, we need to keep the fun aspect in it. All right, you can just follow it back towards town now. Just go ahead and do a loop. Just a left turn back. Yep, there you go. See, you're dividing your attention. That's the most critical attention you need to be paying attention to all the time when I'm out here instructing and you're flying, and I preach from day one, is heading and altitude. And our indication is get our sight picture. We can follow the river back. You want stall prevention, don't lose sight of that horizon.
Yeah.
Fix that pitch and feel it there. You can feel what you need to add a little bit. The steeper you go, the more pitch you need to add to compensate for that lost lift. You know, we can get into those theories. We get out here and just feel it instead of staring, getting sucked into what I say, those instruments, all that glass, they'll suck you in. And you won't see what's going on out here.
Yeah, you could literally fly into a mountain trying to watch the instrument.
Well, yeah, people do it all the time. I did this few months ago with two different students. One is an Air Force guy. We became friends while he was down here. He's a crew chief, and he stayed in his head and wanted everything backed up with some instrumentation no matter what.
Right.
He was just programmed that way. I brought him back down here to do this right here, and he just thought it was next to impossible. He's, man, I thought we was going to follow a river. He was thinking like Mississippi River. But how in the world do you follow that thing? This is all over the place. He was so frustrated. It's normally fun. Are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Normally everybody thinks it's fun as can be. He did not enjoy it. It was too much of a challenge for him, and he just had to, he wasn't ready to get out of his head now the instrument. A 16-year-old girl, well, 15, I think, maybe 15, 16, brought her out here and did this. Man, she was ready to become a crop duster. She's like, that's the funnest lesson we've had yet. She loved it.
5 minutes.
Well, that's it for me for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the flight line.